Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada, and you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. I wanted to show you a card. So this is an alternate card, and this is part of the Ideas blog hop that I'm in today. So every month we share a project, and then we also create one or two or three other projects that are part of a tutorial that you can get if you place an order with me during the month of January. So this month I was playing, so our theme was celebration, and I have been playing with the Adoring Hearts bundle that is in the upcoming mini catalog. So as of tomorrow, you'll be able to get your hands on this. And if you, for example, put an order in for the Adoring Hearts bundle, you would get the most adoring, I have to get the names right, most adoring designer series paper. You could get it at Choose It as a free item from the celebration brochure. It's 12 by 12 paper and it's just so pretty. It's in pinks and reds and golds and white, and it's just lovely. So I wanted to show you an alternate project to the ones I have got in the tutorial, which is a box and a card that you can make. And I'm going to show you how to use the gold leafing on these hearts because they're just so pretty. So let me switch over to my desktop and I will get started. All right, so this is the Adoring Hearts bundle. It is a hybrid embossing folder bundle. So you get the photopolymer stamp set with these great sentiments, some hearts you can stamp, some flowers, and then my favorite are the dies. And so you get this large die that you can cut out hearts. You can cut out hearts with shapes in them, patterns, or you can use them with this hybrid embossing folder. And the way it works is you take, and on the side that has the Stampin' Up! Logo, you fit this die in, and it just kind of, I won't say it clicks in place, but it just kind of settles in place and it doesn't move. And then to cut out these hearts, you put your piece of cardstock, or in this case, I'm going to use some of the designer series paper over top of it, and then cut them out like you would any other die cut, or run it through like you would a hybrid embossing folder, and I'll show you that in just a minute. All right, let me show you what I'm going to use. Okay, this in place. All right, so I've cut out a piece of real red cardstock that is 4 1/4 by 11. So I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. Things back in place, 5 1/2. And fold it in half and give it a good burnish with your bone folder. Now, if you're in metric, this would be 10.5 by oops, goodness sakes, I hit my hand. Let's get things back. 29.7 centimeters, and you would score it in half. All right, then I've cut a piece out. This is one of the pieces of the gorgeous designer series paper that is part of the Most Adoring. I'm going to use this gold side. So I've cut this to be 3 3/4 by 5. And in metric, let me get my measurements right, this would be, it would be 9.5 centimeters by 13.9 centimeters. And so that's really what the basis of the card base. And then I'm going to use the other designer series paper to add some hearts to this card. So I've cut a piece of it doesn't really matter what size this is because we're going to cut some hearts from this. So again, grab your embossing folder and just kind of fit the hearts in till it doesn't shift and move around, and then figure out which side you want the embossed image on. So I want it to be, I'm going to put this is the side I want to show on my card. So I'm going to put my designer series paper, and I'm going to get 6 hearts from this, so I won't use probably all of them. And we will just hold that in place. So you can see I'm going to cut out 6 red hearts. Bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And this is a hybrid embossing folder. So the embossing folder and die go on the cutting plate platform, and then you need plate number 4. So this is the same as any of our 3D embossing folders, how they run through the sandwich layer. Okay, there there's that. Put this out of the way. And now you have these beautiful hearts that are cut out of the designer series paper that are embossed. So depending on which way, so those are the ones that's got the kind of the raised embossing, and then these are the debossed side, and that's perfectly fine. So we're going to add some gold to these. So if you've never played with gold leafing, it is just so much fun. So I keep mine. It comes in a container like this. But I take that container and put it into a large Ziploc container. And the reason I do that is because it is really, you'll see it when I open it, it is fly away. It's really light and fluffy, and I just find that it gets all over, and I can kind of control it when it's in a bigger container. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our hearts, and this is Versamark. So I'm going to take these and just add a little Versamark to each of the red hearts. Actually, I'm going to do it to 3 of them to start with, because I don't want it to dry out. So those 3. Oopsie. And then I've got my heat and stick powder. Now, let's use the my tray. So this is heat and stick powder. It's similar to embossing powder. So I'm going to sprinkle that over, but what it does is kind of gives a glue platform for things to stick to. So if you still use glitter, you might want to use this for adhering glitter on, but I use it for my gold leafing. Put that back in. So I'm just going to do 3 of my hearts. So now you've got the heat and stick powder on. It's the same process as using somewhere I have. Oh, they're there. I wondered where my tweezers went to. So these are the tweezers that come with the embossing additions kit. So it's the same process as you use with embossing powder. It does melt faster than embossing powder, I find. So I'm just going to take and put this on high and then hold it over until the powder melts. Like I said, it does melt faster than embossing powder does. All right, so now I'm going to open this up, and you'll see how light and fluffy this is. So I always keep a partial sponge in as well. So I'm going to take this and just plop it face down into my gold leafing. Oopsie. Chase this around the table. There we go. So we'll do the same for this one. There we go. And the last one. All right, and then the last one. Oopsie, that one went in the wrong way. So let's just take our tweezers and flip that over. There we go. Now I can just take and press down on the gold leafing. See how fine this is? It just will fly away. Now what I use the sponge for, because it's got a ton of gold leafing on it, is just to take and brush some of that gold leafing away. And now I have a heart that's got some little gold flecks to it, just to add some detail. Now if you don't like kind of the mess of this, you might not like this gold leafing, because it does kind of get all over the place. Although I do find I can control it much better, like I said, if I have it in a container that's large enough so it doesn't go flying. So I've got gold leafing on everything now, and I can gently put my container lid back on and hopefully not get too much gold leafing all over the place. Okay, bring back my card base. I pulled out, this is the let's say, dotted ribbon. So it is real red and gold dots. And so I thought that this would look nice. I'm going to wrap it around once I get my piece of emboss. I'm going to use the gold side, the gold marbled side, because I just thought it was so pretty. So I've got that on, and then I'm just going to wrap this around. I'm going to use glue dots just to adhere this on to the front. So I'll put one glue dot right there and bring this around and glue it. Get it even. So this ribbon is, you can see the gold thread on the other side. So it is a bit of a trick if you want to tie a bow with it and you don't want that thread to show up. You kind of have to do some twisting as you're tying your bow. But in this case, I'm just going to put that around. And I'm going to put my sentiment over top of that. So now we're going to take and use dimensionals on the back of our hearts and just kind of layer them on top. So you could use more. I'm going to just use 3 just because. Like that. I just love the red and gold together. And maybe like that. All right, so we need a sentiment. So I've got some Very Vanilla here. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment, and I'm going to use the Just For You stamp. Just for you. This is bugging me. It's not straight. There we go. Hopefully that's better. All right. So we will do. Actually, I'm going to cut this out before I stamp it. I'm going to cut it out using this banner. So I'm just going to cut one of these banners out quickly. I find it easier with these small ones to stamp on the die cut as opposed to stamping and then trying to get it stamped straight. There we go. So now we'll take and stamp our Just For You. It's easy to stamp on these because it is a photopolymer stamp. Much easier than trying to die cut. So I'm going to put that on there with some dimensionals. I'll use some mini dimensionals. I think I've got some here. I do. So this is Very Vanilla. I could have used white because my designer series paper has got white, but I actually kind of like combining. I always think the Very Vanilla goes better with gold. So it's kind of changing up or adding both basic white and very vanilla. All right, and so now I'm going to add some embellishments. These are the iridescent gold foil gems, iridescent foil gems. They come in 2 sizes, and they are kind of clear with some foil accents in them, and they look lovely with this bundle. It's these are with one of the new embellishments in the mini catalog. There we go. And then the last thing I need is this. I've got a piece of Very Vanilla that is cut 4 inches by 5 1/4 or 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters. And I'm just going to take and adhere one of these red without the gold foil. So oops, just drop that. Luckily it didn't go glue side down. So I'm just going to glue that on to the inside of the card. So if you've cut out more hearts than you need, just put them into your stamp case and you can use them on another card. Here we go. All right. So there is a very pretty, I think, card that is made using the Adoring Hearts bundle from the mini catalog, as well as the Most Adoring Designer Series paper that you can get for free during Celebration. So Celebration starts on January 4th, as does the catalog, and goes through the end of February. So just 2 months this year again. And so you have 2 months to grab all the amazing things. There's so many amazing things in the Celebration catalog. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. Again, if you place an order with me for, I think it's $60. Anyway, there's a qualifying amount. You will get the bundle that shows you how to make my other 2 projects that feature the Adoring Hearts. So it's a box and a card that feature this bundle and designer series paper. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you have a great day. Happy stamping. Bye.